Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Tech Tuesday. This is Inbox Zen Master. We are your technology integration team. Today, I am Sherry Harris. Every day, I am Sherry Harris. With me, I have Joshua Boyles, who is also an instructional tech coordinator like myself, and Isabel Espinoza, who is our boss, our director. For anything instructional technology or technology integration questions, you can go to www.midlandisd.net/iTech. And we also have a video library for GoGuardian, Nearpod, Clever Touch, and all of our other Tech Tuesdays. We put out a tech newsletter every other week or bi-weekly where Josh shares out the latest technology tools, tips, and tricks. And if you come to our Tech Tuesdays, we do offer you SPEC and CPE credits. Josh is putting those links in the chat. If you will register for them, I will award credit after I am done with my part of today's training. And lastly, follow us on X or Twitter at Midland ISD Tech, where we put out just a little bit of snippets of what we have going on during the week and all of our Tech Tuesdays. Just like what's upcoming. Okay, so today is all about making your inbox like very friendly. Not where you have 5,000 emails. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my personal favorite, which is our inbox type. So inbox type is a great way to change the look of your inbox. It'll organize your unread, your read, your starred, your primary, promotion, social emails that you often get. And this, I'm going to go through all of my slides and then kind of demo everything. This is your primary promotion socials. This is if you go to the little gear settings, if you scroll down, you'll see inbox type. And this is just how mine is set up. I have mine set up to have unread at the top, starred, and then everything else. I am also a big label user. You can create labels to store your emails. While it is similar to folders, and some users view labels as folders, I am those viewers or those users. They are not the same. If you delete a message, it will erase from every label that is attached to your entire inbox. So if you have two, if I had two, if I had an email that was under team and technology and I were to delete it, it would delete that entire email from both team and technology. You can also customize your labels by changing their colors. You can hide some, and you can just change your label colors and by clicking on the three dots next to it. And then we have filtering. Filtering is a great way to manage your incoming mail, to mark the email for a label, to archive it, delete it, star it, or automatically forward it to a different inbox. So you would click on the little gear settings, you'll go to filters, create a new filter, and then you can kind of customize that. I'm actually going to go in there in just a moment. And then we have filtering where you can delete and unsubscribe. So you can type in unsubscribe at the very top of your email, and anywhere that you see unsubscribe, you can click on and unsubscribe to that email. You can also filter by dates, and with that, you can delete emails that you might have had for several years. For example, I've worked for the district for 6 years. I haven't looked at anything I got from my very first year as a teacher since I moved down to central office. Okay, so I'm going to pull up my Gmail. Okay, so This is just my inbox layout. I have mine set. If I go to the settings bar and I go down to inbox type, I have mine set as a priority inbox. So whenever I customize this for my inbox section, I put all the unread at the very top. I put my stars or starred ones second, and then I put everything else at the very bottom. And then you can kind of customize this a little bit more if you wanted to. And then always make sure that you save changes by scrolling all the way down. So this, again, this is just what mine looks like. So I have all of my unread, my starred, and everything else. I usually get an email. I do whatever I need to in that email, and I move it to a label so I don't have to see it and it doesn't distract me anymore. Okay, so now I am going to talk about labels. So you have your little labels over here. And you can see I've changed some of the coloring. So all of my technology 2324 is my favorite color, pink, if you could not tell. And then I have some gray ones. And basically how you would change colors. You would go to the three dots. You can also add a sub-label here, remove the label. You can even edit the label here, but if you wanted to change colors, that is how you would do that. So to set up labels, if you can click on the plus and add a new label, I do like to go through my settings. Here I can scroll down to my labels and I can choose the ones that I want to hide or I want to show. So for example, this 2023, I don't want to see it anymore. I'm going to hide it because we're in 2024 and so it is no longer over here on my labels. And I can kind of edit these. I can remove them. I can edit them. And this is just kind of your labels. And I, it's fine. I can go back to where I was. And could you cut out that part? Okay, so that was my fault because I'm used to presenting my entire screen. I've got to start remembering to show tabs. Okay. Cut and edit right now. Okay. So we are going to go over inbox type. This is what my screen looks like. I have all of my unread at the top. Then I have my starred and everything else. You can change this layout by going to your gear, your settings gear, and scrolling down, and it says inbox type. Usually it's set to default, so if you have like your promotions tab and your social tab, that means yours is set at default. I have mine set at priority inbox so that I can see all of my unread, starred, and everything else. And this is just kind of what you see here. The inbox sections 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is how it's going to be set up. If you make changes here, make sure that you save your changes. The next thing I will talk about are labels. So I love labels. I use labels all the time. I have several labels from the years I've been with the district. And you can see some of my emails are filtered to actually auto-populate in those labels. So to see your labels, you'll go to settings, see all settings, and go to labels. Here you can create a new label. And then you can even nest it under a different one. If I want to do gradebook contacts and create. And just by creating this, new test label is under gradebook contacts. You can also hide any labels you don't want to see. I'm gonna hide my PEMS one. Where's my PEMS? Whenever I click hide, it disappears over here, but I still have access to it if I go to more. Lastly, you can change the colors of your label if you click on the little three dots. You can go to label colors and go, I'm going to change SIS to blue. So if I had any, I would be able to automatically see those. You can see that I have team as a different kind of blue, and then my technology 2324 is set up as pink. Okay, and then I'm going to go through filtering. So how I got these auto populated filters is I went to filters, I went to see all settings, filters. So I have 5 different filters here. I'm going to pick on Josh. So I'm going to edit his. So I have all of Josh's emails that come from him. I'm going to continue. All of those will auto-populate the team label, and they'll always be marked as important. I can also star them if I want to. I'll actually show you one that I have starred. I can mark them as red. So if you have someone that you get junk email, not someone, if you have like a vendor or something that you get junk emails from and you don't want to see those, you can just mark them as red, and they'll go in your inbox. You can skip the inbox and go straight to archive. You can delete it. You can forward it to another mail address. There's all of these different options we have for filters, and I can update filters. And if I go to our inbox, I can see that Josh is under team and technology. His is under technology 2324 as well, because I had already put this label in there. My executive director, Fatima Muniz, who's also on the call today, she sent me a sample email because anything that comes from her, I do want it to have a star so that I do know that it is important for me to, so it just draws attention to it. Okay. Any questions about using filters with labels before I move to unsubscribe and delete by date? Okay. So if you have a lot of emails that you get from vendors and you need to unsubscribe, you can go to your search bar and I cannot type and talk at the same time. And you can type unsubscribe at the top, and any of these that you have unsubscribe, I'm going to click on one. Oh, nope, this is one I'd already unsubscribed to. I'm going to look for one that I can use, that I know that our district doesn't use. Team Animaker is not, it's just a vendor I signed up for, or I needed to see how something worked in there. I can click unsubscribe here and unsubscribe to that unwanted email. Lastly, you can filter by date and then delete a lot of emails that way. So I'm going to filter. I'm going to do advanced filters. I'm going to do within a year of, I believe I was here in 2018. Nope. I'd already deleted all of those. Okay, so a lot of these I don't need anymore because I'm still part of TASBO, but I don't need this email anymore. So I'm just going to select them, and I can select a lot that match this criteria and delete. So I don't have so many unwanted emails that I haven't looked at in several years in my inbox. Okay, so I am done. for today, and I'm going to hand it back over to Josh. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Sherry. So I'm going to go through some of these kind of fast because, most people probably know about them. They're a little more on the basic, and then I'll go through some that I think are pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and just share the presentation again. Because what I like to do is go through some of the slides first, and then just show you. So we're going to go ahead and look at what I've got here. So the first thing is color-coded stars. So this is kind of starting out with the basics. So there's this really cool way that you can kind of use the stars, and I think Isabel will go a little bit more into this later. But everyone knows you have the yellow stars that you can star it, and like if it's important. So I'll show you guys how to use more colors, and it's actually really cool. I use them all the time. And then there's also how to archive. I think most people know how to archive, but believe it or not, I have had some people actually ask me how to get back, how to find emails that they've already archived. And so I'll show you that. And Debbie left something in the chat just now. Says I usually archive rather than delete. It gets them out of my way. Exactly. So you don't want to delete. You want to. I try not to delete as much as possible, unless it's literally just spam. You always want to archive those. That way they're not in. It moves them into another server. That way you're not. It's not taking up space. The next thing is another basic tip. It's called the reading pane. And as you can see on the picture there, it kind of splits it into two, where you can still scroll through, but actually be looking at one email. So it helps out a lot if you're going back and forth between emails. And then now, kind of getting into the more advanced. There's this thing called the right side panel, and so it's basically a lot of Google applications that you kind of can integrate with your Gmail. So that's really cool. We'll be looking at a little bit at Calendar, the note-taking app called Keep, Google Keep, and then Tasks. So that's pretty neat. I'll try to get through those pretty quick too. And then some of the more advanced is Gmail contacts. Now, you don't want to confuse this with groups, because Google has groups, but that's not the same thing. So when you get into your contacts, if you've never used them before, it looks kind of similar, but don't be scared, because contacts are kind of like your own way to manage your own contacts. They're just for you. So I'll show you guys a little bit about that. And it's really cool because if you have like maybe a group of teachers or a group of people that are for like maybe say a specific, panel, or a specific, I don't know, maybe like a committee, or just a special group of people, you can send emails to those groups, and those will appear in your Gmail once you put them into your contact, a specific group in your contacts. And then the last one that I want to show you was something called templates. Templates is this really cool way that you can kind of drop in like a pre-made response or a pre-made email. So if it's an email that you send out a lot and that always has the same information, you can create a template with that, and that way you don't have to type it out every time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen. I'm just going to switch over to my tab with my Gmail. Hopefully you guys can see that. I've got the Grand Canyon in the background there. I think it's the Grand Canyon. I'm not sure. So as you can see, I've got my email, and then let's go ahead. I'm going to start from the last one that I was telling you about and go back the opposite way. So let's look at templates. So the first thing that you want to do is you have to go into your settings to enable this. That's the key part that I don't want you to miss. So you're going to go into the gear up in the right corner, and you're going to see all settings. So you're going to click the blue button here that says see all. And then in the settings, you see how there's these tabs at the top? You're going to go all the way to advanced, this tab right here. Okay. And then you're going to see where it says templates. You're just going to click enable. Okay. So that's the first part. Now I've already enabled mine, but since you haven't, you're going to see where it'll say save changes. You have to click save changes. So every time you are doing something in the gear here, you want to always make sure that you save the changes. That's very important. And it's sneaky because sometimes you have to scroll all the way down to click that button there, but you want to save the changes. So now we go back to our inbox, and I'm just going to compose a new message. And I don't even have to put in a recipient or a subject. I can just say like test. Okay. And then what I want to do is I want to get rid of my signature here, because that will save as part of the template unless you take it out. And because your signature will already be set up, Isabel's going to talk more about that later, I think. You want to take that out, otherwise you'll have two signatures and you don't want that. So I just typed out test, but you could type out like anything you want to. And maybe it's a whole message, right? And what you would do is go to the three dots, okay, right there at the bottom. You go to templates, and then you go to save draft as template, and then you go to save new template. Now, I don't know why it breaks it down like that. It's like 3 different dropout menus, but that's how you do it. So you click save as new template. I'm going to just put test. Whoops. Test. That's you give the template a name, you click save. Okay. So now what I can do is I can delete all of this. And let's say I'm going to write an email to Isabel. And, I'm just going to call the subject test. And now I want to use that template. Now, for you guys, I actually created my own template. Actually, no, I didn't. So what I'm going to do is this is actually a better example. I'm going to copy and paste. This is actually kind of a thing that we put on all of our social media. Let's say I want to save that as a template. Let's go ahead. I'm just going to save that one. That's a better example. I'm going to do save draft and then save new template. Let's just call this Tech Tuesday. That's a better example, I think. I thought I had already done this ahead of time, but I didn't. All right, so now I'm going to compose this message to Isabel. I'm going to say, remember Tech Tuesday. And I'm going to shoot her this email. Am I spelling that correctly? Okay. So now, instead of having to type that out, let's say I'm sending this out every week, I just go to my 3 dots again. I go to template, and there's my Tech Tuesday template. So now all I have to do is click that, and boom, it adds it right into the body of the email. I thought that was pretty cool. So that is how you use templates, but I'm not going to send that email. Okay. It's just as an example. All right. The next thing I want to do is show you guys how to do the contacts. So over here in the side panel, and like I said, we'll get more into this later here in just a second. I'm going to go ahead, and you see the little blue man, it says contacts. I'm going to click that. Okay. And you can say I have not added any contacts yet. And I deleted all my contacts so I could show you how to do it. So what I'm going to do is I can create a new contact, and it's really cool because you can fill out all of their information in there. You can add their info and then click save. What I'm going to do, however, I'm going to go back, and there's nothing wrong with doing it in there, but I'm going to click this little open in new tab, because to me, that is a lot easier, because it kind of opens like another app. And then you can see that there's nothing in there. So what I'm going to do is I can go up to the blue plus sign. I can create a new contact, and that's going to open up just the way it did a while ago. Or what you can do is create multiple, and that's what I like to do. So I'm going to do multiple at the same time, because let's say you have in mind that committee, right? And you want to be able to email them. So what I could do is I could highlight or copy and paste all of the email addresses that I want to add in, and that will create. So another thing you can do is a CSV import. So I tried both ways. Just keep in mind that if you already have some, that they will duplicate if you have some of the same ones. But you can do that either way. You can actually create a label. And I actually already have a label called TAT, which stands for Technology Advisory Team. You can actually create a new label right at the beginning. So let's say this is just my techie people. Techie peeps. How about that? And then I click save. And then I'll just click create. And now, right off the bat, I have those people in my contacts. I've got Sherry, DJ, and Isabel. And then because I chose to do the label, they're actually in a label on their own as well. So if I had more contacts, I could have all of them in my contacts, but then just these 3 in that Techie Peeps label. So now the next time I go to do an email, show you guys this, I'm going to compose a new email. I can come over to, whoops, actually, I think I have to go to the contacts again. And now, whoops, You might have to refresh your page. I'm going to refresh the page. After you upload those contacts, you probably will have to do that. And now I should see DJ Isabel and Sherry in my there they are. Okay, so now what I can do is compose an email, and I believe, and now see, I'm already forgetting how to do this. I know there's a way. I did it earlier today, and now for some reason,
Josh,
I
just start
apologize.
typing Techie Peeps.
Oh yes. Thank you, Sherry. So you just type 2 on the 2, and sometimes my mind just goes blank, y'all. I don't know why. I'm sorry. So now you can see I've got my Techie Peeps right there as a group, and it adds them all together in there, and I can send an email just to that group. So I thought that was really cool. All right, some other things in this tab, in this side panel that I wanted to show you guys was something called Keep. So I can click on the little yellow with the little yellow square here with the light bulb. And if you've never used this before, Google Keep is basically just a really basic but still very sophisticated note-taking application. You can get to the app just from your Google Apps, like on the Google homepage, and it'll open up. I can actually show you what that looks like here by opening in a new tab. All right, and this is kind of what it looks like. I have it set to a dark background, and there's just like little notes that I made. You can make a new note. You know, you can create lists, so that's really cool. You can add pictures to those notes, and it's just really cool. It makes it integrates really easy with all the other apps. But for our purposes today, what I want to show you is, let's say you've got lots of notes in your Google Keep. Well, what's really cool is, let's say I get an email, right? And like, say there's this email here from Clever. And what's cool is when I open, you have to have the email open. But once you open up the email, whenever you make a new note on the side here, it brings that email into that note. So I could say Clever, right? And I could just say reminder as just an example.
Josh, make sure you're showing your screen.
Whoops. Thank you so much. Okay, and I think we're running. I'm probably running out of time. I'm going to go ahead and give the rest of the time to Isabel. But just real quick before I switch over. So once again, you have to have the email open, right? And then when you go, I'll click done. Okay, but you would click on take a note, make a new note with that little plus, and that's where you can see it adds that email into the note. So now the next time I go into my Google Keep, you can see it added that as a note, and it's referencing the origin, email of origin right there in the note. So that's really cool in my opinion. So hopefully some stuff that you guys have never heard of. Hopefully Isabel will have a chance to get to some of the stars and some of that other cool stuff. The other things I was going to talk about was just the reader pane and how to archive. I think most people know how to archive. It's pretty easy. Just real quick, to get to your archived, you just go down where it says more, and you go to all mail. So unfortunately, there's no way to filter archived. I searched on Google to try to find that, but all the websites and the Google websites were saying you have to just scroll through there to find your archived emails. But I can promise you they are there. So once you go into an email and you click on, whoops, I'm not sharing. Once you click on an email and you archive it with this little archive button, it will go down into the all mail. So that's where you would find your archive. And then the reader pane we actually covered before in another Tech Tuesday. So go and check out our Google Tips and Tricks Tech Tuesday that we did. So with that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Isabel.
Thank you, Josh. And thank you for covering, both of you. Thank you for covering all that good information. I'm not going to demonstrate it all. I'm just going to cover some really quick tips. This first one is some changes that we recommend that you make to your settings in your Gmail. So you click on your gear at the top right, click on all settings, and the settings that we would like you to change are, the first one is that one is just the recommendation, is the undo send. So this one will give you, it's set to 0 seconds. I change it to 30 seconds so that when I send my email and I think, oh, I forgot to attach something, or oh, I sent it to the wrong person, or I'm not supposed to send that, I have 30 seconds to, you have a little message on the bottom that says undo send. I can click on it and my email does not send. I have 30 seconds. So that one's a really good option to have in case, if you want to save yourself some issues maybe. Another one is where it says here, where it says maximum page size, you can change it to 100. I have it to 100 to show 100 conversations per page. That means it'll only, it'll show me 100 conversations and I don't have to scroll through pages to me that I get a lot of emails. This is really good to have. The other one is where it says default reply behavior. This one, it doesn't have anything chosen. So I clicked on reply, because if you don't, sometimes when you reply, you accidentally reply all. If you want to avoid that issue where you accidentally reply all, come and click on, go into your settings and click on this one, reply, so that your automatic behavior, your default would be a regular, just reply to that one person that sent the email. That one's a good recommendation to do as well. Also for grammar, spelling, and autocorrect, they're all right here at the bottom. These, I do recommend you turn them on. It's always great to have an extra helper, so that, because none of us are perfect, we make mistakes sometimes and we don't even see, especially when we're in a hurry. So it's good to have these on. This one, I really like the Smart Compose. So when you send an email, I mean, when you're about to say, when you click on reply, you'll get the, like, just an idea of what to say. If you said something, it'll say, oh, thank you for that information, or awesome, wonderful, thank you. So it comes up with responses for you. If you just click on it, it'll send it. If not, it just gives you an idea of what to write, and it comes up. It's good if you're trying to respond to your emails fast. So I have both of these, the Smart Compose personalization and the Smart Compose. I have both of these on. So that's something really cool to have. Also, your signature. Most of you probably already know how to add your signature, but if not, you just go into your settings. You're at the top right. This video will show you, and then you click on see all settings, and then you scroll, and that general tab, you scroll to where it says signature. You can add up to 10,000 characters to your signature. You can add more than one signature for the different types of emails that you send. And then you specify for which emails you're going to send which signature. And then always, like it was mentioned before, you always go back to the bottom and click on save changes. Always, every time you make a change in the settings. Another really cool one is that when you open an email and you want to add it to your calendar, you click on the 3 dots at the top right of that email. And then like this video showed you, and then you create an event. So it's going to show it again. You click on the email, you click on the 3 dots, you scroll down to create event, and it creates an event for you in your calendar. Now this last one is very, very neat, because when you have your message, you compose an email. At the bottom of your message, you have these options that you see right here. You have all these options at the very bottom. When you click on the little calendar, this one right here, the calendar, you get 2 options: offer times that you're free, or create an event. So if you offer times you are free, you get this screen that is showing here on the right, and you choose from whatever day or dates you are available. You choose the times, you choose how long they're for, you create the title, and the person will get an email that looks like this. So they will be able to choose any of the available times that they want, and it'll automatically add it to your calendar and their calendar. If you send it to multiple people, it'll only add it for the first person that chooses the time. So all these tips are amazing. Everything that was covered. We are going, because we went over, we're going to stop recording, but after we're done recording, you're welcome to ask any questions out of everything that we shared. That was truly a lot of information. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.